Well, All-Star Weekend kicks off with the WNBA Skills Challenge at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Storm's Erica Wheeler and Liberty's Natasha Cloud in the final round. Wheeler's posted a time to beat at 37.5 seconds, but Cloud blew through the passes, came down to the wire, but she got the layup to fall with 1.1 seconds remaining as she goes on to celebrate with Liberty teammate Sabrina, Ionescu, Erica Wheeler there, as Natasha Cloud goes on to win the 2025 WNBA All-Star Skills Challenge, becoming the second player in New York history to win the challenge, the other one being, you know who, her. Sabrina Ionescu. So to the three-point contest we go. 2023 champion Ionescu facing off against reigning three-point champion Ayala Gray in the final round. And they don't call her Sabrina for no reason. Ionescu got off to a hot start. At one point, even making 11 straight shots in a row. She had also both of her starry balls en route to a 30-point round. That was enough to beat Gray, who finished with 22 points. As Sabrina Ionescu, your three-point contest champ. It was a New York sweep, defending champs, producing your skills challenge champ and your three-point champion. But Ionescu, the betting favorite, becomes the second player in WNBA history to win multiple three-point contests. She won the skills challenge back in 2022. In 2023, that's when she put up a record high 37 points in the three-point contest and follows up in 2025, getting yet another dub. And with more, we're now joined by CBS Sports WNBA analyst Erica Ayala after an exciting first day of the WNBA All-Star festivities. And look, we got to witness the New York Liberty sweep. Natasha Cloud, she kicked things in overdrive in that skills challenge final, going to defeat Erica Wheeler with 1.1 seconds left on the clock. And then we had last year's three-point champion against the 2023 champ, going head-to-head. Sabrina Ionescu, Ayala Gray. Ionescu putting up a 30 spot despite even practicing for this. But I want to know what impressed you most in this game.
Well, I mean, first of all, especially being a New Yorker, the New York sweep, I love to see it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a fantastic skills competition. I'll start there first. A great story in that finals. Erica Wheeler, we know, has been an MVP at All-Star as an undrafted player. Her getting to the skills competition final against a Natasha Cloud, who is very vocal about advocating for herself, wanting to make it to her first All-Star. She said she's always wanted to be in the skills competition, and she got to do that this year and win it all. Just fantastic stories overall. And you know, when it comes to this New York Liberty squad, I think that they really pour into each other so much. Natasha Cloud had so many great things to say about the support that she got from her teammates and wanting to make sure that she was putting on a good competition when it came to representing the New York Liberty. And of course, we know Sabrina Ionescu got to do that on the three-point contest side as well. But overall, just joy from Tosh Cloud. She's all about love. She said that to us after this skills competition. And also she told us that she's going to use that money to put a down payment on a house. So that, you know, she and Izzy Harrison are ready to get some new digs.
I love that. And everyone that they were talking to on the sidelines, they were talking about, okay, I'm going to buy a house, or I invest my money. Money being used very smart by these women. But as I sit here and I was watching the All-Star festivities, the skills challenge and the three-point challenge, I couldn't help but notice just the energy and the fun that we saw from a lot of the players there on the floor. And we got to talk, though, about what transpired on Thursday. We saw players meet with the league to discuss that new collective bargaining agreement, and players saying that maybe they didn't see as much progress out of it as they would have hoped. But did you sense any maybe of that frustration or that disappointment from any of those players in attendance on Friday night?
Well, I will say that as far as any disappointment, it's been all joy here. The players are having a fantastic time. We spoke to Nneka Ogwumike, who is the president of the WNBPA, and she talked about the hospitality of Indianapolis kind of slapping her in the face in the best way, right? They're just overjoyed to be here. Indiana is so happy to have the WNBA here. That being said, I also got to talk to Breanna Stewart, and I think there was a little bit of of frustration from the players' side in that they rolled 40 deep, and they had a meeting face to face to talk about, of course, this CBA and the negotiations that are ongoing. Stewie did confirm to me that this is their only opportunity to meet face to face with the league, and there was just perhaps a little bit of a scheduling challenge where things felt a little bit rushed from the players' side. Stewart told me, and that she wished they could have capitalized on the time to really get into deeper conversations to move the conversation forward when it comes to this negotiation.
Absolutely. The players feeling like they deserve more, and rightfully so, with what we've seen from this game continuing to grow. But what we saw on Friday night, I'd like to say, was a bit of the appetizer, and it was a very good and tasty appetizer at that. But it was the appetizer to the meal. That's being the All-Star game taking place Saturday night. Team Clark, unfortunately, will be without Caitlin Clark, but still, these are two stacked rosters going head-to-head. What are you looking forward to most on Saturday night?
You know, the All-Star game is so interesting in the WNBA in particular because, as Tarika and I talked about earlier, there are veterans who are coming to, you know, their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th All-Star game, and vets like to show out. There's so much competition. Folks don't like to lose. We saw that in skills and three-point contests today, but there's also genuine joy and love. And what I've been leaning into is that we almost always see those same veterans who are very competitive find ways to create moments, whether it's for rookies in their first All-Star, well, they're rookies because of course this would be their first All-Star, or first timers such as a Natasha Cloud. We also have, you know, Brittany Sykes stepping into her first All-Star, Kayla Thornton stepping into her first All-Star. So I'm anticipating the moments where each of those teams is going to really uplift those first-time All-Stars. As far as who I think is going to win, now that's I know how y'all do me. I know how y'all do me.
You know that was coming next. It was already coming your way, so I'm glad you got ahead of it.
I have been leaning into, because there's a little bit more of a youth movement or a first timers on Team Clark, not to mention that the captain won't be able to compete on the court with them. I've been leaning into Team Clark. That being said, I'm going to hold down my girl, Tarika Foster-Brasby, who, you know, we like to bout a little bit, spat a little bit here and there. And she has been leaning into Team Collier. So much veteran leadership, a lot of overlap when it comes to also, of course, what Collier has done with Unrivaled and having some of that hootie hoop power on that team. So I know that if Tarika were here, that is something that she would say. So I want to uplift that as well. But either way, I do think we're going to see an opportunity for these women to support one another, and especially those first-time All-Stars. But I'm telling you, I'm leaning into Team Clark. Not to mention, I'm thinking the crowd is probably going to be behind them.
You know, if I had to guess, I feel like I'm leaning the same way as you when it comes to that crowd, because Indiana does not play when it comes to their girl, Caitlin Clark, and anything that she stands for there. But as always, Erica, we appreciate you always stopping by with the best of the best. Have fun out there.
Thank you so much.
Well, taking a look at the WNBA All-Star Starters, I mean, Erica leaning towards the youth movement with Team Clark, but no Caitlin Clark in this one. But we do have some veterans here on Team Clark. Looking at Sabrina Ionescu, Asia Wilson, got some firepower there. Meanwhile, you know, our fellow WNBA analyst, Tarika Foster-Brasby, looking at Team Collier. It's going to be exciting to watch, and you can catch that action. That's going to be Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, we'll have you covered with everything from the All-Star game right here on CBS Sports HQ.